Gentlemen and male ladies, welcome to a brand new lore dive. Everyone's been demanding, Nux, when are we doing the lore dives? And since I like lore dives, but I also like messing with the universe, I decided to do a lore dive that will mess with the universe. That's right, today, ladies and gentlemen, we are jumping into the Dragon Age lore dive. Wizards and Warriors, I know them from Lord of the Rings lore dive shit. They did a Dragon Age synopsis documentary, a full documentary on the full Dragon Age lore, and I am super here for it. Not only because Dragon Age is being shat on, but I decided the only proper way for me to get into the public zeitgeist of shitting on something that I think deserves to be shat upon is by properly understanding the lore, because I have to appreciate it at its best before I poop on it for where it's at right now. Now, I do not know a lot about the new Dragon Age game that came out. I only saw a couple of clips. I saw this clip, for example. I feel like, oh, that's the official soundtrack for the Dragon Age new game. It's pretty crazy. But anyway, I want you to watch this clip because I feel like this is out of place, but we're gonna do a lore dive to see if it is.
Pounding that snake's nose. Oh. She's still holding the ruby in her other hand.
She?
Maker's panties. I was so proud.
Oh,
Ah, shit.
Shit. What?
They're still holding it. Sorry.
What are you doing?
Anyway, fast forward to 2 minutes of ukulele apologies, exposition, self-flagellation about how wrong this character was for calling another character the wrong pronouns. Yes, this is definitely probably fitting into the lore of a middle, what's it called? A fantasy game that is obviously heavily inspired by like a very, 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 very old age. Like, it's kind of wild to see this. Like, this is medieval, and honestly, it's kind of heresy to feel the need to include a 2-minute dialogue on this shit. So I saw this clip and I was like, well, who knows? Before I excessively poop on it and the modern politics of a medieval fantasy game, I decided it'll be much more important to do a full lore dive to see if this is actually warranted. That's right. You see, ladies and gentlemen, I don't shit on things because they're woke. I shit on woke things when they suck. All right? I have attained nirvana here. All right, so let's see if this lore dive is actually fucking, let's see if this world actually deserves to be ass-fucked by BioWare. All right.
Previously on our channel, we've talked about the lore of the Dragon Age games, the world of Thedas. Check out that video via the link in the description. This new video will cover the events of the first 3 games.
Let's go,
Dragon
baby.
Age Origins, Dragon Age 2, and Dragon Age Inquisition, so that you can remember all the many story beats before Dragon Age the Veilguard comes out. So,
right, I'm here for it. I am here for some good-ass lore dives. As you know, I will consume all lore. So as someone that is consuming all lore, Dragon Age definitely needs to get included. All right, we've covered some lore dives into certain different places that I was really inspired and impressed with. Elden Ring lore, Warhammer lore, all that shit was insane. Definitely subscribe if you like lore dives into various fictions. And I'm hoping this will actually be good. But simultaneously, if it's too good, I'll feel extra bad that they're absolutely pooping all over it. Did you see the gender selection screen at the beginning of the game? Okay, I have to show you this. I'm sorry. Last tangent. All right, so this is Asmongold regretting his decision in Dragon Age.
Gender identity option.
Like, this isn't like a one-time thing. Apparently, they ham-fist gender politics into every facet and cloaca of this game.
Oh my, here we go. Take a long, hard look in it, kid. It'll always show the face of a hero who can get it done. Establishes transgender identity and unlocks new dialogue options in future conversations.
That's insane, bro. That's insane. It's like, bro, you just become trans in this game and your aura goes up by 10,000.
I love who I am. It feels good to see the real me.
These are all the same.
Should I do it? I mean, every single option makes me transgender. There's no option not to be transgender.
There are an infinite number of genders, male, female, and then an infinite different number of genders that all are just transgender according to this game.
It makes me trans. This one does, and this one. I don't know why I have to be trans, guys.
The thing is, you could definitely have a game that doesn't ham-fist this shit everywhere. From what I understand, Baldur's Gate 3 was beloved. But dude, this isn't the freaking selection screen.
I can't. Guys, I don't know what to do. Forced transgender. This is what Donald Trump was talking about. I'm getting there. It feels good to see the real me.
This is what Iran does to gay people.
It took a while for me to figure out why the face staring back.
Bro's gonna get canceled by Twitter for the 70th time. Listen, I get canceled from Twitter, like, on an average day, I get canceled on Twitter. So, like, I gotta give them something to munch on.
Back from the mirror felt wrong, but once I was able to be honest with myself, it was a relief to figure out I was trans.
Thank you for that fucking sermon that you've given us, sir.
And it's worth it to look in the mirror today and see the man I am staring back.
It keeps going. Keep going, baby. Keep going. Yeah, well, anyway, so, like, the thing is, the dialogue is so mega freaking cringe. I want to know if they actually destroyed a good lore, or if the lore was always shit. So that's why we're doing the lore dive, okay? I like to make my opinions based on some semblance of fact. That, or if I could just, you know, sow some chaos into the hearts of man.
So sit back and enjoy our summarized coverage of the first 3 games. Tell us which story choices you made when playing, and what your plan is for the Veilguard. And consider liking—
My plan for the Veilguard is not playing that fucking shit.
And sharing, it helps immensely. You probably don't need us to tell you that Dragon Age is a franchise in the classic Dungeons & Dragons vein.
Oh. Wait, is it actually, like, in the Dungeons & Dragons world? Because I'm doing a lore dive all the way into D&D. I just covered, like, the D&D Ancient Past. Or is it more in the, I guess, similar inspired?
So you might well be hitting the tabletop before you return to Thedas. To help you with that, we recommend our sponsor, Shard Tabletop, a virtual tabletop program for managing—
Dude, I literally just saw a video sponsored by the same guy.
Puts you in the shoes of a freshly recruited warden who travels with Duncan to Ostagar to meet King Kylan and Terran Logain Mac and to fight off the Darkspawn threat.
These main names mean nothing to me. All I know is that there are castles and Darkspawn in, like, a generic-ass fantasy world, okay? You don't understand. Normally, when I do a lore dive, I want a brilliant lore that stretches my mind and my asshole. This lore, I have, like, such mixed feelings. I'm so conflicted because, on the one hand, I love being introduced to, like, a whole new brilliant world. But on the other hand, I know that they give this world, like, the biggest dicking over, like, of modern times. Like, they spent hundreds of millions of dollars on this.
Correct. Along with 2 other recruits, the Warden is tasked with retrieving 3 vials of Darkspawn blood to perform the Ritual of Joining and finding old treaties between various kingdoms and the Grey Wardens.
What is the Ritual of Joining?
They return without the documents, which are safeguarded by a witch named Flemeth. The ritual goes wrong, and only the player survives, and becomes a full Grey Warden.
Oh my god! Wait, this is some tragic backstory for the player character. The actual player character is the survivor of a tragedy that's trying to bring peace to different nations. All right, I could get behind that. I could get in front of that. I could get back shots from that.
In the following council, the Warden and Alistair are tasked with lighting a beacon atop the Tower of Ishal that will signal Logain's forces to outflank the Darkspawn horde.
All right.
However, Logain betrays them, leaving Kylan and Duncan to die on the battlefield, while the tower—
Bro, this is some Game of Thrones shit. We're starting off and it's like, all right, so we have a battle between these 2 raid nations, okay? So he betrays them, they end up dying, these barely survive, that one's a bitch. Classic. Classic, we take those.
The tower is overrun by Darkspawn, who strike down Alistair and the player. They both awaken in Flemeth's hut, and after recruiting her daughter Morrigan, they make their way—
Recruiting their daughter. Yeah, I just recruited her daughter. Yeah. That's me, ladies and gentlemen, Warden from Dragon Age 1. Riz out the wazoo, all right? I don't do 10 push-ups ukulele apology videos when I accidentally say maker's panties, okay? Brother or sister, I don't judge.
Way to the nearby town of Lothering, with the plan of using the treaties to raise an army and continue fighting the Darkspawn. In the meantime—
What are the Darkspawn? Are they just like generic orc creatures, like in this version of the universe? Like, they sound like the most generic villains of all time, like classic fantasy villains.
Logain—
Just generic demons that just happen to want to kill you.
Had returned to the capital of Ferendel, Denerim, where he accused the Wardens of being responsible for the massacre, outlawed the order, and declared himself regent, enraging the nobles.
I love when people declare themselves regent. I declare myself regent too, what a coincidence. No, this is classic fantasy Game of Thrones-isms. I'm here for the deep dive. We're gonna consume all the lore here. And I do appreciate a political setting. almost always. I love when they take just human characters and put them in a fantasy world and watch them smack their heads against each other. Like, I'm all here for that.
The Warden finds Lothering in chaos as bandits run rampant before the Darkspawn horde arrives. Here, the player can meet and recruit 2 more party members.
Right.
Liliana, a Chantry sister, and a...
Bro, with the infinite Riz! Oh my god! Riz is Morrigan, then Riz is Liliana? Oh my lord!
Canary named Sten. From then on, the party, following Alistair's recommendation, journeys to Redcliffe, Alistair's home, to obtain the assistance of Archaemon Gwen. On the road, he reveals that he actually has a claim to the throne, as he is the bastard son of King Merrick. Upon arriving, they find out
he doesn't have a claim to the throne, because he's the bastard son. I mean, he has royal blood, but he doesn't actually have a, claim to the throne, per se, unless all of his brothers and siblings are dead. Alright, whatever. Anywho, I'm not getting involved in, the fucking Game of Thrones king politics of this world. But what I do have to say is it is setting up a fantastic world where he's slowly but surely going around gathering people, the daughter of one witch and the daughter of a barbarian and some wizard dude and the bastard son of the king, and slowly but surely gaining, you know, actual personal credence in the land. Like, it is a political game here.
That the village has suffered from constant attacks from the undead.
Like, ragtag team of misfits and fuckboys, and he's gonna come together to actually pull some bullshit on the world.
When the threat has passed, the Warden enters the castle via an underway passage. In the dungeons, they meet Joan, a mage who was brought in to help Aemon's son Connor control and conceal his magical abilities. It is soon revealed that Joan poisoned Aemon and that Connor is responsible for the undead.
Wait. This guy got that guy to take care of his son because his son is a necromancer, and he poisoned him. All right, I'm with you.
As in a desperate attempt to cure his father, he became possessed. When the party arrives at the throne room, a battle ensues in which Connor is defeated, and depending on the player's choices...
Oh, good job, they murdered a child. Huge dub.
...or his mother Isolde may die.
Connor or his mother.
With Connor defeated, the party focuses on the task of healing Aemon. Isolde points them to Brother Genitivi, who knows the location of the Urn of Andraste, an artifact of powerful curative abilities. The search for Genitivi brings them to the village of Haven, where he is being kept as a prisoner. After rescuing him, they make their way to the temple, where Genitivi believes the urn is held. There, they fight numerous cultists and drakes that occupy the temple, and the mountain's caverns. They also meet Colgrim, the leader of the cult, named the Disciples of Andraste.
This is like a fucking... I feel like I'm downloading a speedrun edition of Game of Thrones in 1 second. I had no idea this was such an insane amount of, like, politics in these games. Like, these are all... Every single situation that they're finding themselves in here is insane.
Who worship a high dragon, the reincarnated Andraste.
They worship a dragon? Well, I guess it is Dragon Age, so... We expected dragons to show up at some point.
Moving on, the party crosses the mountain top and faces the Gauntlet, a series of trials. Having succeeded in the trials, the urn is finally secured, and Aemon is cured. Aemon pledges his troops to the Warden's cause.
Of course he does. That's what this entire adventure is. Like, there was this guy, Aemon, whose son was a piece of shit necromancer dude that you end up murdering in cold blood, because what is a youngling if not to be slain? And then you find a way to heal this epic mad lad, and then he joins the squad, and your squad of random ragtag misfits keeps getting stronger. Like, this is like a classic fantasy adventure world, and it's awesome. Like, you gotta love that stuff.
And proposes to put Alistair on the throne, while the party continues in search of allies. Their next stop is Kinloch Hold, which is under attack by abominations, demons, and blood mages.
That sucks.
The Templars that are responsible for maintaining order in the Circle of Magi have quarantined the tower and want to purge the mages, but the Warden manages to convince them to let the party try and defeat the demons.
Bro! They walked up to a fortified castle that was battling against these abominations and demons and blood mages, alright? And then they're like, listen, entire fortress that is incredibly secure, we got this. What the fuck? And their ragtag team of dudes go up against an army. That's pretty badass.
After saving some trapped mages, a sloth demon sends the party to the Fade. There, the Warden meets
What the fuck is a sloth demon?
Another mage, Niall, who reveals that senior enchanter Uldred, an ally of Loghain, is responsible for the chaos, having summoned a demon after he failed to convince the Circle to align with Loghain.
Cringe.
After killing the sloth demon and acquiring the Litany of Adralla,
The fuck is the Litany of Adralla? Like, they just say random shit. I mean, obviously, I'm sure it's explained throughout the game. But, like, you see how many different political battles that take place in this world. Like, it is a very complex, clearly medieval-inspired world. Like, this is a monarchy, right? There's the dragon, the dragon that's revered. You got the fucking, classic, bastard son of the king in the party that, you know, has a claim to the throne. Like, very medieval. I'm still failing to see how it fits in a lore like this, that they're gonna have a 40-minute apology stream for misgendering somebody in the modern Dragon Age game, but goddamn.
A powerful artifact that prevents mind control from blood mages, the party confronts and slays Uldred, who has become an abomination, possessed.
Alright, that's the point of the Litany of Adralla. Like, they're slowly but surely gaining strength, gaining forces, obtaining weapons and artifacts that they would be able to use to kill other people. It's pretty badass.
By the Pride Demon. With order restored, according to the player's choices and whether First Enchanter Irving is alive, the mages live and pledge to help the Warden fight the Blight, or are put to the sword by the Templars. The party then travels to the Brazilian forest, where one of the Dalish tribes is being attacked by werewolves. Zathrian, the keeper of the clan, promises to help the Warden in exchange for killing the great spirit wolf Witherfang. The party explores the forest, where they find out that the werewolves are intelligent and not—
It's like classic adventure quest here. They show up, new adventure, they help these guys, they get these items, they gain more infamy and strength. Little by little, surely but surely, they're getting stronger and bigger and more famous and infamous, and they are actually going to start wreaking havoc on the world. Like, so far the world building really seems like it's almost generic fantasy D&D inspired shenanigans. Different creatures and races and species and battles and shit. So I do respect that.
Not just mindless beasts. Eventually, the party reaches the Breslan ruins, the werewolves' lair. Upon exploring the ruins, they come across many undead warriors, giant spiders, and even a dragon, but they ultimately find the Lady of the Forest.
God! We have to do a quick-ass lore dive on the Lady of the Forest, right? Dragon Age. I just got to do a little lore dive here, just to see. Listen, I just want to see if the lore is all right. Lady of the Forest. Okay, so this is the first Dragon Age game with the Lady of the Forest. So this is the first Dragon Age game. All right, the first Dragon Age game has the Lady of the Forest. When did this game come out? Just for the sake of research, I think it's important to know. Original Dragon Age release date. All right, this came out in 2009. This came out 15 years ago. All right, so this came out 15 years ago, and this is what it looks like. All right, I just want to see like what the how the character design has improved, because I'm sure it improved a lot over the years, right? I'm sure the character design is like a lot better than it used to be. Oh, I don't even know if I want to show this to you guys. Oh my god, I'm seeing Reddit threads that are just here to try to defend the art correct. Dude, there are Reddit threads defending Dragon Age's art. That is so cringe. If you need Reddit threads to defend the art, you're obviously doing something wrong. Look what they've done here. What is this? What are these characters, bro? What is this? Dude! Okay, so this is the first Dragon Age that came out 15 years ago. For some reason, people liked it. This is the modern Dragon Age. What happened? What happened? Oh, man. Oh, man. Anyway.
Another form of Witherfang. She explains that it is Ian who is actually responsible for this, as many years ago, he cursed a group of humans for attacking his children.
Hell yeah, that's the twist. The twist is that the Lady of the Forest that was controlling the wolf demons was actually the good guy. And it was the humans that were blighting nature that were the bad guys. All right, classic fantasy twist, but I approve.
The original perpetrators have long since been dead, yet Zathrian didn't lift the curse, so the werewolves are trying to infect as many as possible to force his hand. Witherfang hints that Zathrian may have an ulterior motive in not doing so, as the curse is possibly tied with his very long lifespan. The outcome of this arc depends on the player's choice.
So dope. And I love how both choices are like equally viable. It's like side with the humans, fuck the tree people and save the world and become stronger. Greater good shit. Or the humans are fucking up these tree people, and also player agency. This woman has gigantic personalities. 2 personalities, I would go as far as to say.
Who can pick to support either side, and in return, receive their assistance during the final confrontation.
I like that. It's complex. It's like an ideologically complex battle, right? Here you have the humans that are doing human shit, and they are blighting the forest by doing that, so therefore you have the forest rebelling against them, and the forest, they just kind of want to mind their own business. Who do you team up with? Do you team up with industrialism, or do you team up with the fucking Ents, right? Ultimately, the choice is yours, and both are relatively understandable. And you have two options to follow these two choices in a relatively complex moral dilemma that can only exist in a fantasy world. I love that, okay? I love that. It's ideological, and it's something that can only exist in this fantasy world. Obviously, the most fuckable trees do not look like this lady, okay? So, in the real world, this ideological battle, not necessarily so complex.
The party continues its journey to Orzammar, where the dwarves face a political crisis.
The dwarves?
As King Endr-
They really have all the classic freaking tropes. They got the dragons and the blood mages and the demons and the dwarves.
Adukan has died without an heir. The people are divided between-
Dude, I saw this one donkey video. He was going crazy making fun of the new Dragon Age. No, Dragon Age, Veilguard, donkey. He was making a lot of fun of dwarves. I didn't get the meme, but I think I'm getting the meme.
This is where people come when they dream, but dwarves don't dream.
The epic twist! Dwarves don't dream, ladies and gentlemen! Now, a lot of you might be surprised, but this is the lore drops we've come to expect while playing this game. Yes.
Between two candidates, the cutthroat and progressive Belin Adukan, and the honorable but conservative Petal Haramont.
Honestly, like, again, you see this battle between these two guys, right? You got Belin Adukan, all right? He's a cutthroat. He does what needs to be done. He's a bitch. He's a bastard. He's a bitch. He's a bastard. He's a loser, an abuser. And then you got Petal Haramont, who's noble, but he doesn't actually do enough. Bro doesn't do enough. He's conservative in the way he does his battles. Like, you look at this, and again, you see a classic trope of these two completely separate ass ideologies, and both are respectable in their own way.
Whichever side the player chooses, they are sent into the deep roads to find the Paragon Branca, whose support will greatly benefit each candidate.
All right.
There, the warden can recruit another party member, a dwarf named Orgren, who's husband.
Yeah, but he doesn't dream, so what a bitch.
They ultimately find Branca and another paragon, Caridin, who are at odds over the fate of the Anvil of the Void, a device that can create...
Because, believe it or not, dwarves don't give a shit about modern politics, right? You have all these wars going on the surface with these different people and shit, and the dwarves that are in the fucking depths in the mines of Moria, or whatever the fuck they're doing down there, they're fighting over the Anvil of the Void. They have their own political bullshit to deal with. They're not gonna sit there around the fireplace doing push-ups if they accidentally misgender somebody, okay?
Golems. The player can choose to side with Caridin, who wants to destroy it, or Branca, who wishes to use it. Either way, the surviving paragon will help the warden's candidate of choice win the crown, and the succession issue is settled. With all the allies now gathered, Arl Aemon calls for a landsmeet, and they travel to Denerim together. While trying to enlist the support of the bands that will vote, the warden is informed that Queen Enora is being held prisoner by
a woman as a prisoner? Damn, only in 2009 could they have gotten away with this shit. Women are not prisoners in the year of our Lord, okay? Once you get to 2024, women are no longer prisoners. God, they're not even women.
Kane's ally. The warden infiltrates Hal's estate, helps free an Olesian warden named Riodan, and confronts the owl. After slaying Hal, they use the key to free Enora, but their escape is cut short by Sir Calthrian. The warden and one companion are arrested and taken to Fort Drakon.
Oh my god, dude, this poor warden dude. He's out here trying to solve everyone's problems and he gets arrested by everyone. Nux Twitter is already seething. I think the people in my audience know that I am like 99% sarcastic. And nothing I say should be taken even remotely seriously.
Where they await their execution. In the end, of course, they escape their bonds, either with help from the other party members or on their own, and return to Arl Aemon's estate. After negotiating Enora's support, the warden heads for the alienage, where they discover Tevinter mages are operating an elf-slave trafficking ring.
Elf-slave trafficking ring! This is the level of fucking insane politics shit that has been going on in the original Dragon Age Origins. Oh my god!
After defeating Caladrius, the leader of the Tevinter slavers...
Of course his name is Caladrius. Have you ever met a Caladrius that was a nice guy? Ain't no way, bro.
And obtaining proof of Legane's involvement, the party returns for the landsmeet. Depending on the player's past choices, the new ruler will either be Alistair, Enora, or both via marriage.
Yo! You can marry them to make them dual rulers? God damn, you really do have a lot of options in this game. Holy shit.
Loghain can either be executed or spared and made into a Grey Warden. With the matter of the Ferelden succession settled, the Coalition forces move to face the Blight. They reach Redcliffe, where scouts have reported the Darkspawn horde is. On the eve of the battle, the Warden learns that only a Grey Warden can kill the Archdemon,
God damn.
and that in doing so, the Warden will also perish.
Yeah, that's what they call plot armor and tragic sacrifice.
Morrigan offers a solution by way of an ancient ritual, but it's up to the player to decide whether to go with it or not.
Why would you not go with it? The alternative is you dying.
If the player refuses, Morrigan leaves the party. Later, the Warden finds out that the Archdemon Uthemiel has deceived them, and that his army is behind their lines. Marching on the unprotected Denerim, they hastily make their way back to the capital to find the city being sacked by the Darkspawn.
Ah, these Darkspawn. Goddamn.
Riordan suggests they lure the dragon to the top of Fort Draken.
Yeah, when Riordan isn't writing the Percy Jackson novels, he's busy luring dragons to forts.
He moves there first, followed by the party. Riordan manages to wound the Archdemon, but dies. The
Oh my god!
party carves a bloody path through many foes to reach the top of the tower and finally slay the wounded dragon.
God damn. Holy shit.
With the death of the Archdemon, the Darkspawn disperse, and the 5th Blight is ended.
And that's the conclusion of Dragon Age Origins. Wait, so you're telling me, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to be rude here, all right? This is only Origins. We didn't get to Dragon Age 2 yet. We're gonna do a deep dive on everything, all right? You're telling me that in a game with elf trafficking rings, child necromancers that you need to murder, nature and human at war with each other, your best friends dying, and the main character sacrificing himself to stop a demon from raping and pillaging and murdering an entire nation of people. We had to get a 2-minute fucking exposition ukulele apology for misgendering somebody? Like, I feel like there's a priority issue here, you know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm just a fucking loser, but I feel like there are bigger things going on.
The second game.
Wait, what? Someone in chat just gave me an interesting lore drop. He skipped the ritual requires the player to bang Morrigan and then put the Archdemon's soul into their baby. See, what the shit? That's insane! That's insane. Okay, alright, let's go.
Puts the player
Bro, this is like Fate Stay Night all over again.
in control of Hawk, destined to become the champion of Kirkwall. The story is framed as a narration of a dwarf named Varric to the Seeker of the Chantry, Cassandra Pentagast, who is looking for Hawk.
Dude, I love how it's like, the human, Cassandra Pentagast, and the dwarf, Varric.
Hawk's story begins shortly after the Battle of Ostagar, as his family tries to escape from Lothering to Kirkwall, their mother's hometown. On their way, they meet Aveline Valen and are attacked by Darkspawn, which results in the death of one of Hawk's siblings and Aveline's husband.
Does every Dragon Age game start with, like, epic tragedy? The main character is destined for greatness. He's there with his loving family. They all die. His adventure begins. Like, I feel like I'm noticing a trend here. I know we're only 2 games in, but I feel like this is a very dark and gritty world, bro.
But Flemeth saves the rest in the
Let's go, Flemeth!
form of a dragon. She promises safe passage to Gwarin in exchange for Hawk carrying an amulet. Upon arriving in Kirkwall, they find the city's gates barred, but their uncle promises to help them bribe their way in, provided they work as mercenaries or smugglers for a year.
Listen, you could work as mercenaries, smugglers, or whores. Pick and choose.
When their debt is repaid, the siblings decide to fund and join an expedition into the Deep Roads, led by Varric and his brother Bartrand. To do so, Hawk undertakes a series of odd jobs to collect the necessary funds.
Again, I feel like the Dragon Age cycle is pretty classic, right? You'll have your main character, he survives some form of tragedy. He's not necessarily super well known by any means, but because he wants justice / revenge, he has a good heart, he goes through these adventures, he gathers allies, a ragtag band of misfits and ass fuckers to go throughout the land and make a name for himself and entering some massive battle for the fate of the world. Like, I know it's incredibly basic in its simplicity, but it works, bro. Like, this is the classic fantasy tale, and with enough complexity and, you know, interesting lore tidbits, like, you can make a really beautiful world. Like, I know it's a relatively generic hero's journey once you lay it out that way, but most are. Like, damn.
First, they assist a Dalish blood mage in climbing a mountain and
Wait, weren't the blood mages the bad guys in the Origins?
performing a ritual.
All right. See, again, you have different groups that over time, they move around. They don't, not all bad guys remain bad.
There, Flemeth emerges from the amulet, and after giving some cryptic warnings, flies away. Together,
God, I love those people. I shall warn you of the 4th moon of the 2nd pussy. And then you're like, what the fuck is that supposed to be?
With Merrill, they return to Kirkwall Alienage, where she settles. There, Hawk overhears a conversation about a missing mage, Fainriel, whom he finds in the slaver caverns of the Wounded Coast.
God damn!
After dispatching the group of slavers, Hawk sets him free. Hawk then gets
Dude, it's not a medieval fantasy game without slavers, am I right?
another job from Thrask, this time regarding some apostate mages. After killing the blood mage
God, prostate mages, those guys must go crazy!
Decimus, Hawk can decide the fate of the rest. Our hero
I also love that all the names are like, they're obviously fantasy twists on like medieval Decimus. Like they all sound like Greek and old school and Roman and, you know, like I do like the idea that it does retain its medieval setting. It's like, it's not the type of games that's gonna start talking about modern politics at all, right? God. Can you imagine if in the new Dragon Age game, they're like, it is I, Thrask, I don't vote for Trump. Like, bro, we are one step away from like actual fucking bullshit in our games, all right? I'm just saying.
is then tasked to locate Keren, a Templar recruit, who, along with some others, has gone missing. The search leads Hawk to Tyrone, the leader of a group that wants to establish a mage-ruled state. After killing Tyrone and her minions, Keren is free. Following this, Jarvis Tintop asks Hawk for information on some explosive powder.
See, again, a totally new dilemma gets introduced into this world, right? Like, in the last one, it was, I guess, much more generic fantasy. It was demons and dragons and bloodspawn and necromancy and shit like that. But they are introducing gunpowder and explosives into this fantasy world. This will absolutely take the entire world by storm. Like, this is some Vox Machina shit. I love that. Like, that definitely shakes up the politics of the world.
Quest leads to a Talvashoth-occupied cavern, where a fight ensues, with Hawk emerging victorious.
And yes, I did notice this. People in chat keep telling me that the progress bar starts turning pink. Like, it starts red, and it's always, it's turning magenta and pink, and YouTube is going from red to pink. Just felt like mentioning that. It has no input on anything at all.
Upon visiting the Canary compound, Hawk discovers that it was all a misunderstanding, and the Arishok of the Canary informs them that there was never a deal to buy the secret behind the black powder. Hawk then travels to Lowtown and is instructed by Sister Patrice to smuggle
Bro, this like fucking BDSM outfit goes crazy.
Ketajan, a Canary mage, out of the city. However, it is a setup, and they're both attacked by another Canary. After defeating them, it is revealed that Sister Patrice was behind the ambush.
Oh my god! You're telling me that Sister Patrice, the nun, was actually the bad guy? That's crazy.
Death to turn the Chantry against
a religious despot? I've never seen that.
Against the Canary. Following this, Hawk locates a Grey Warden named Anders, who promises to give Hawk the maps they need to explore the deep roads in exchange for help with rescuing his friend Carl.
Again, you need the map? Rescue my friend. Like the classic mission tropes, they all work. They're good. It definitely it broadens the world. It gives you explanations to how your character rises in the ranks. It's pretty awesome.
Unfortunately, Carl has...
And they're also such human ideas. Like, you know, you help this person, you get something in exchange, like classic barter system, not just nobility and justice and shit like that. God damn. I feel like this was really a golden age of fantasy games, wasn't it?
Has already been made a tranquil and dies shortly after. Yet the Warden keeps his promise. Having secured the maps and the money, the expedition descends to the deep roads, where they find an idol made of pure lyrium. However, Bertrand betrays the party, takes the idol, and locks them inside.
Every fucking time, bro. This is why you never trust a dwarf. No, that sounded racist in a weird way. I didn't mean it that way.
To die. Desperate, they explore...
Classic villain move. And now that I have stolen your idol, I will lock you here to die. Why kill you myself if I could let hunger kill you?
Deeper, finding a treasure big enough to make Hawk a noble. Alas, it comes at the price of...
Okay, there it is. All you need to become a noble. Money, 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 money. It has nothing to do with you actually being a noble dude. You just can buy your way into it. Classic medieval shit. Like, it knows the exact time period that it's referencing here. That is not at all epic foreshadowing.
Of Hawk losing their last sibling to the Taint, unless Anders is in the party, in which case he takes...
The Taint is fantasy age, in case you were curious.
...them to the Grey Wardens. Varric resumes his telling of the story, skipping to 3 years later, when tensions with the Canary have reached a breaking point. Hawk is sent to hunt down Jarvis, who has stolen poisonous gas from the Canary. It is later revealed that, in fact, it was a group of elves that stole the gas when they released it in the city. Hawk defeats the elves and...
Bro, it's like elf terrorists and Kunari, and it's like, elf terrorists? Why are there elf terrorists? Well, in Dragon Age Origins, we saw that there was literally a massive, like, slave elf trafficking ring, right? Like, you gotta recognize that when you put these people into slavery and oppress them, they might end up becoming terrorists. Like, it's just good world building.
Proceeds to investigate a series of murders of women and the abduction of a Kunari delegate. They find...
That's pretty, not gender equality. If you're just gonna murder women, that's pretty fucked up. You should murder at least as many men as women. As an advocate of gender equality, I don't think only women should be getting murdered. Yeah, that's right, that's right.
The Kunari chained and tortured by a Templar named Servanel.
What the a Templar? He's a Templar, a noble man fighting for God! Proceeds to torture the Kunari.
Hawk here can choose to side with Varnel and fight the present Kunari, or fight the Templar and his zealots.
I'd fight the Templar and his zealots. Fuck those guys. I'd team up with the Kunari.
When Hawk returns to the estate, they find that Leandra, their mother, has gone missing.
Oh my god.
The search leads them to the serial killer, a blood mage named Quentin, who pieces together various parts of women to recreate his bride.
Whoa! Scheisse! Feisse! Holy mother fiddlesticks! God damn! Brothers! Schmiblets! This is some Tarantino shit, for real, for real. Like, that's that one Adventure Time episode when Ice King created, like, this homunculus attaching different women together into this fucking super wife. Oh my lord, that got dark. Listen, I was sitting here, I was like, alright, elf, slave trafficking, alright, whatever. Quentin, Quasandri, whatever they're called, torture, chambers, Templars, yeah, alright, dude. This is next level, bro.
Hawk slays him, but Leandra dies in their arms.
Oh my god!
After this, Hawk...
The mother dies anyway!
...investigates the conversion of Samus, the Viscount's son, to the Kun, suspecting Patrice's involvement. Hawk goes to the Chantry, where they find the poor boy murdered. Depending on whether they sided earlier with Varnel or not, Hawk will get in a fight with the Kunari or Patrice and her...
Fight Patrice. Team up with the Kunari. Can we agree that these freaking religious zealot monster torturer people, like, these are the bad guys here, alright? I would team up with the Kunari 100 times out of 100.
Zealots. Having had enough, the Kunari send their troops into the city.
Yes.
Hawk's party, together with the Templar leader Meredith and head enchanter Orsino, enter the Viscount's keep, where Arishok is keeping a group of people hostage. Hawk eventually settles the Kunari aggression, either through combat or diplomacy.
He settles the problem.
Earning the moniker Champion of Kirkwall.
Yo!
However,
and this is how he gains fame and infamy, right? Every single one, the hero of the story at some point needs to do something fucking awesome, you know? And that's great. That's pretty great. And this is how he gained infamy. This is how he's known before he unites the world.
However, their intervention is too late for the Viscount, who is now a head shorter, and despite leaving, the Arishok vows to return.
He did.
Following Viscount Dumas' death, Meredith turned Kirkwall into a Templar-controlled police state.
No! This is not the solution! You will only make more people hate you! It's like, guys, how are we going to stop the terrorism problem? Oh, I know, by becoming a police state.
After a heated argument between Meredith and Orsino.
But then again, you do realize that this is something that would totally happen in real life, right? Like, you do realize that this is exactly what some people would do. They're like, oh, I know how to stop people from being bitches. We'll just create an authoritarian fascist regime. That'll make everyone fall in line. Classic humans.
No, in which the player has to pick a side, essentially. Hawk is summoned by the former...
I don't know, I'd pick Meredith because she seems hotter than Orsino.
...and tasked to help capture 3 fugitive mages, Huon, Emil, and Evelina. After completing this quest, depending on which side the player picked during the argument, Hawk is once again summoned either by Meredith or Orsino. The reason behind this is that groups of mages have been reported to be sneaking out of the gallows.
Uh-oh!
Meredith...
Sneaking out of the gallows? What do you mean sneaking out of the gallows? They'd like hang one of the mages and the mage just like sneaks out?
Demands Hawk prove that Orsino is involved, while Orsino asks for proof that the Circle isn't involved. In either case, Hawk soon discovers a conspiracy, in which both Templars and mages are involved.
God, I love conspiracies.
And Keren is among them. After some beating, he reveals that Thrask is their leader, and...
Bro, is there not one good guy in this entire game? I feel like at least in Dragon Age 1 Origins, like there were like an obvious group of good guys that were just trying to survive. Like here it seems like everyone's a bad guy. You have the terrorists, the oppressors, the torturers, the freaking evil manipulators, the idol stealers. Like there is no good guy in Dragon Age 2.
that their goal is,
aside from, you know, the main dude,
to depose Meredith. Karen also reveals that they have kidnapped a person close to Hawk. Wasting no time, Hawk tracks down Thrask, storms his base, and confronts him. Thrask tries to defuse the situation, but his
right, Thrask, this is the guy that left you for dead earlier in the game, right? When you find the idol underground, he steals it from you and leaves you for dead.
attempts fall short when his lieutenant, Grace, kills him and
I did not see that coming. She just fucking betrays her. No one's a good guy. Everyone's fucking evil here. I guess, ultimately, when it comes to war, there aren't really good guys. You know, like, that seems to be a major moral here. Like, in the first Dragon Age, there was an obvious idea of good and evil. Here, good and evil is super blurred. Everyone that just continues violence for the sake of violence is just worshipping corn. Blood for the blood god, and these people are all monsters.
orders an attack on Hawk. Hawk kills her, as well as most of
Wait, so Grace betrays Thrask and kills him to work, and Hawk just kills her. Based. Honestly based.
her minions, with the remaining surrendering and handed over to Cullen, who arrives shortly after. Next, Hawk is brought before Grand Cleric Elthina, who explains that because of the mage situation growing dire,
Mage situation is insane. Very excited for the new Moist Critical video. Mage situation is crazy.
the divine Justinia V is considering an exalted march on the city. Hawk, together with Elthina's favourite, Sebastian Vale, is to meet with the divine's agent, who is revealed to be none other than Liliana. Regardless of Hawk's arguments, Liliana warns that war is inevitable and asks Elthina to depart for Val Royeaux. Elthina refuses, claiming there's still time to avoid bloodshed. Hawk returns to Lowtown, where Meredith is accusing Orsino of harboring blood.
Oh my god, again? Again? Oh my lord, these people were literally fighting with each other the entire time.
Mages. Orsino attempts to leave, but Anders intervenes, stopping her and triggering a hidden explosive device, destroying the Kirkwall Chantry and killing everyone inside.
Oh, classic genocide moment. We take those.
This gives Meredith the pretext she needed to call for the rite of annulment.
Oh my god, and it was all just an excuse. Like, she's walking on the corpses of her people. What happens when the fucking town blows up and kills everyone in it? Now, normal people would be like, wow, this is a tragedy. And then you got Meredith out here being like, oh, this is a perfect opportunity. Tragedy? I smell opportunity.
Basically the purge of all mages of the local circle.
Oh, classic, yeah. Well, you know what to do when a genocide happens? Reverse genocide, baby!
And forces Hawk to pick a side. If the player picks the mages, Aveline will leave the party, while Merrill will abandon it if the player picks the Templars. Hawk can also choose between killing Anders or letting him live, in which case Sebastian leaves to bring Starkhaven's army.
This is mega complicated. Like, every single person is just in it for himself. You could kill basically anyone at any point, and everyone else could betray you at any time. Like, this is definitely getting into the shades of gray of medieval politics, and that's so interesting.
Armies. Hawk's remaining party reaches the gallows, where Meredith attacks the circle during a parley. As the fight breaks out, Orsino unleashes a spell and becomes a harvester. Meredith even attempts to kill.
You know my perspective here. The word harvest is never used to describe something good. The harvest can commence! That's not a good thing. We're not talking about fucking crops, okay? If you ever hear the word harvest, some medieval fucked up shit is about to happen.
Kill Hawk, regardless of whether they sided with her. It is revealed that Meredith has been driven mad by the lyrium idol she bought from Bertrand and forged it into her sword.
Oh, nice.
Realizing her state, another Templar, Cullen, attempts to relieve her from command, but she has an outburst and attacks everyone present, including Hawk.
Women, am I right?
Who is proven too strong of a foe for her.
Oh shit.
As Meredith asks the Maker for more strength, her sword breaks, and she turns into a statue. Cullen, now effectively commander of the Templars, lets Hawk and the party leave unharmed. Following the Battle of Kirkwall, the other circles rise up in an outrage, and the Mage-Templar War begins. As Varric finishes his story, Cassandra realizes Hawk is not responsible for the war. Varric is released.
Thank you! Finally, someone realizes that it's not the main guy's fault. All it took was an entire game.
And the game closes with Cassandra discussing Liliana the Seeker's next course of action.
Bro, it doesn't even end with like a conclusion. It just ends with a massive war between the mages and the freaking Templars. Honestly, that's not even a bad conclusion for a game, because in a game with shades of gray, wars, and no good guys, the only way for it to end is war. What do you expect, peace? You expect to just let one of the fucking pieces of shit end the cycle and just be the victors and live happily ever after? That doesn't happen! That doesn't happen. And it ends with an endless war, with division, and that's it. God damn. Honestly, a fucking brilliant game. All right.
In the series' third installment, the player assumes control of the Inquisitor, who wakes up in the Phage.
Inquisitor? Is it time for an exterminatus? Sorry, I live and breathe Warhammer references ever since doing those lore dives. God damn.
Following an explosion at the Conclave, after a golden female figure helps them fight off some demons and return to the material world, the protagonist is interrogated by Cassandra and Liliana.
Oh, literally. So it's like almost a direct sequel from the second game, just with a different main character. Because Liliana and Cassandra, they were dealing with the fucking Civil War shit going on. So this is like a direct sequel, politically speaking. It's just with a different main character. The only plea of innocence I hear is guilty of wasting my time.
From them, they learn that the explosion has killed everyone else who was present at the Conclave, including Divine Justinia V, and has created a hole in the veil, the Breach. The Inquisitor also discovers—
oh shit, I feel like I'm about to see the only solution to this massive war. The solution to the war is just gonna be a much, much bigger, more dangerous enemy shows up and they have to unite to fight them. Like, otherwise the cycle never ends. You're gonna have mages killing Templars and Templars killing mages until one of them is just completely gone, right? The only solution would be if the fucking warp opens up and decides to show up with her army of fucking bitches and you have a threat that's bigger that both people are gonna actually have to unite against. You need the God Emperor of mankind here ASAP.
There's a strange green glowing mark on their left arm, which Cassandra and Liliana believe can close rifts in the veil, and ultimately the breach itself. They
Alright, so the main character in the third game has hack superpowers. Let's go.
Journey to the temple, picking up Varric and the elven mage Solus on their way to close a giant rift that will stabilize the breach and prevent it from growing. There, they also discover echoes of an ancient Tevinter mage, who, according to the legend, started the Blights. He is talking—
don't know what that means, but cool.
about Justinia, the protagonist, and Red Lyrium. They seal the rift, and the Inquisitor passes out, awakening—
I feel like that's not happily ever after. I feel like sealing the rift is not the end somehow. Listen, I started doing my League of Legends lore dive, and I know that every time you seal a rift, a bigger rift is gonna open later. Alright, it's never good.
Later in Haven, where the people hail them as the Herald of Andraste. There, Cassandra re-establishes the Inquisition to continue fighting the breach, and introduces 2 more members.
Innocence proves nothing! God, I love the Inquisition. No one expects the Spanish Inquisition.
And Josephine. Seeking official approval from the Chantry, they approached Mother Giselle, who suggested a trip to Val Royeaux. However,
nice.
Both the Chantry and the Seekers of the Truth denounce the Inquisition. While at the capital, the Inquisitor is approached by the leader of the—
oh, the Blight was the first game with all the shadow dudes following the dragon to wipe out the nation. Alright, that was the Blight.
Rebel mages, and also has the chance to recruit a rogue elf named Sarah and Vivienne, the leader of the Loyalist mages. Upon returning to Haven, the player—
okay, so Blights are the Darkspawn invasions. So the second game was really post-apocalypse, right? The first game was much more Lord of the Rings-ish, good versus evil. The Blight happens, these fucking pieces of shit Darkspawns are trying to wipe people out to get the dragon, the hero just stops that. The second game is now that that's all settled and done with, now that there's no massive existential issues, we could just have problems like, I don't know, racism and humans fucking with humans. Classic. So that's why it was at the end of the 5th age, because the first age was the first game was the 5th time they stopped the Blight apocalypse. And then they just keep fighting with each other in the whole second game. Nice. Dude, I'm starting to, I'm in the swing of it. I'm in the thick of it now, boys. I'm liking it.
must pick a side in the Mage-Templar conflict, a choice that leads to 2 mutually exclusive quests and has deep consequences.
All right.
The Inquisitor is also able to recruit 2 new members, a Grey Warden named Blackwall and a Canary Merc by the name of Iron Bull.
Let's go.
If the player chooses the Templars, then the Inquisitor is invited to their fortress, Therinfal Redoubt. However, this is a trap set up by the Red Templars, who begin slaughtering everyone.
Classic Templar moment. Come to the Therinfal Redoubt. It's a wonderful time. It'll be a party. We'll all get together. And then the Templars murder everyone. Bro, fucking Red Wedding shit all over again.
With the help of a loyal Templar, Delrin, they find the commander, who, in truth, is an envy demon. The demon who wants to supplant the
So I guess the demons in this are very, like, 7 Deadly Sins-ish, right? In the first game, there was a sloth demon. So, alright.
Harold, as head of the Inquisition, has been working on
Bro has a face only a mother can love. Holy shit.
Coryphaeus' orders, and corrupting Templar officers with red lyrium. The Inquisitor also learns that Coryph is also planning to murder Empress Celeste of Orlais and raise a demon army to conquer Thedas.
Yeah, none of that sounds very good, honestly. Is this a 6th blight?
After slaying the Envy Demon, the Templars offer their assistance in gratitude.
So the Templars, after trying to wipe out everyone that didn't follow their exact creed and doctrine, after their asses were saved, they decided to be nice people. Wow! What a coincidence! I mean, I guess we'll take their assistance, but god damn it. Couldn't you guys, like, be a little more helpful before you tried to murder all of our guys, please?
If the player had picked the mages, the party travels to Redcliffe, where they find out that the mages have already allied themselves to the Tevinter Magister Geryon Alexius, through another Tevinter mage, Dorian Pavis, and Alexius' son, Felix. The Inquisitor learns that Geryon can manipulate time, Tevinter Supremacy.
That's pretty fucking broken, what the shit? Oh my, they go to fight the Templars and they're like, yes, my sword is so thick and girthy. I like the way I insert my sword into your many holes. Oh, please insert your sword more times. And they go here and they fucking time wizards. It's Time Wizard!
Supremacist, who serves Coryphaeus. Upon confronting
Bro, everyone's out here serving Coryphaeus.
him, the Magister explains he did so in order for Coryphaeus to help cure Felix from the taint.
Oh. Which, as we've already established, is fantasy AIDS.
Dorian and the Inquisitor are sent a year into the future, where his plans have succeeded.
Wait, so a year in the future, the Blight already happened, Coryphaeus won, like humanity's fucked? Oh my god. Like, this is some Thanos shit. You have like 1 in 600,000 universes to succeed here.
They discover that Felix has become a ghoul, and once again fight Alexius, this time beating him. They return to the past, where the Inquisitor explains to Alexius the futility of his actions. The Magister surrenders.
Alexius, listen, this whole time shit, it's not really worth it. It's really not worth it. The taint turns people into Darkspawn if it doesn't kill them first. Well, that's good to know.
And the mages pledge their support. Having secured the assistance of either the Templars or the mages, the Inquisition seals the breach. But before they can celebrate, Coryphaeus attacks Haven with a dragon, and a large army.
Bro just had a dragon. It's like, oh, congratulations on closing the giant space vagina that I've opened. I have a dragon, by the way. Dragon these balls on your face!
Army that includes the faction the player didn't pick. As civilians evacuate the village, the Herald delays Coryphaeus as much as possible, and by causing an avalanche, destroys a large portion of his army. Coryphaeus attempts to steal the mark, using the Orb of Destruction, but fails.
It's so wild. When you see the level of cataclysm that's happening right now, and it's also, it doesn't help that the mages and the Templars are super divided based on the events of the second game. So right now, that you have the mages and the Templars divided, literally humanity's fighting force is cut in half because of stupid human bullshit, you see the scale and scope of what's really going on. You have this freaking dark spawn summoning dragon wielding piece of crap, Coryphaeus or whatever his name is, out here ready to just completely destroy humanity. Like, it really puts into perspective how stupid, trivial, and bullshit people fighting amongst each other is in the second game. Like, it's such a good moral. Such a great sequel.
And the Inquisitor.
It's like the first game sets the scale and tone for the absolute zenith of what you need to expect in this fucking universe. The second game shows you how, without a greater force as an enemy, humans will just continue to fight and break each other apart. And the third game is there to remind you of the fucking travesty of the first game and show you that you are literally your worst enemy with how you divided yourself in the second game. What a brilliant goddamn sequel! Oh, I'm sorry, I'm falling in love with this world, man! I love doing my lore dives so much! They're so good! So far, this definitely goes into like B tier on the lore, on my lore tier list. Like, it's pretty freaking solid. God, what do they do with this? How do you make a sequel to a game like this? Brilliant over-analysis, boss. Oh, thank you. Can you continue my rim job while you keep glazing me in the chat? I didn't ask you to glaze me in the chat!
Escapes through the caverns, until they link up with the refugee caravan. Solus then guides them to an abandoned fortress, Skyhold, where Cassandra and Liliana officially proclaim the Herald as the Inquisitor. After setting up their base, Josephine and Varric inform the Inquisitor of Coryphaeus' next moves. Varric introduces his friend Hawk, who asks the Inquisitor to locate their old Grey Warden ally, who may—
So Hawk, the protagonist of the second game, is pulled right back into the fray. We recruit him. Dude, this is awesome. This is such a good sequel! Honestly, they should have ended with this game. I don't know why they made a sequel. Like, this is such a good, like, grand finale on such epic scale and proportion. I don't even know how they would follow this up. based on the overarching themes of the 3 games, I don't know how you're gonna follow this up. Spoiler! The new Dragon Age game is scheisse, apparently. It's so sad when they do this to beloved franchises, man.
May know about Red Lyrium. The Inquisitor finds him in Crestwood, and it is revealed that the Grey Wardens are using blood magic to summon an army of demons, which they plan to use to kill the 2 remaining old gods, before they can be corrupted into archdemons. The Wardens, however, are being tricked by the Tevinter Magister Livius, who supervises these rituals, and secretly serves Coryphaeus. Unbeknownst to them, the ritual not only binds demons to Warden mages, but the mages themselves to Coryphaeus.
So he becomes this fucking Angstrom Levy level threat. Every demon and archdemon and mage literally is hooked up to this man where he can control all of them. Like, this man is becoming a god in real time, and you need to use every ounce of your power and what's left of humanity to stop him. That is a giga threat.
Creating a massive army for his master. The Inquisitor storms Adamant Fortress, where Erimond and the Warders are hiding, and confronts the Warden commander, Clarel, just as she is about to summon the Nightmare Demon. They manage to sway her, but Erimond summons Coryphaeus' dragon, who mortally wounds her and causes her last spell to almost kill the Inquisitor. The party is saved at the last moment by escaping through a rift to the Fade. There,
the Fade? Was that like the Fey Realm in D&D lore, which I totally know about because I'm doing a D&D lore deep dive, even though YouTube age restricted my D&D lore deep dive. Don't worry, I'm gonna re-upload it, but god damn it, YouTube, can you get your priorities in order, please? Why are you fucking age restricting my D&D?
They meet the spirits of Divine Justinia and learn the truth about the events at the Conclave. Coryphaeus infiltrated it with a group of mind-controlled Grey Wardens and planned to sacrifice Justinia to get the green mark or the anchor for himself. By sheer luck, the Inquisitor interrupts.
Wait, so the Inquisitor is the only solution to this problem because he has this green mark that could fucking close these rifts. But simultaneously, he's in the most danger. Because this enemy, this Cortheus guy, he's out there. You are the #1 enemy numero uno of the bad guy. Like, bro, this is like Frodo with the ring. Like, he is the arch nemesis to Sauron because he can destroy the ring, but also the target's on his back.
Interrupted the ritual and obtained the anchor for themselves when they picked up the orb. The magical explosion that followed killed everyone besides Justinia and the Inquisitor, who were thrown into the Fade. There, she sacrificed herself fighting demons so the Inquisitor could have a fighting chance. After escaping the Fade, despite the Nightmare Demon trying to block their way, they slay the remaining demons and arrest Erimond.
They actually got him? And it's not even the end of the game yet? Oh lord. They got the main threat chained up only 60% into the game?
Back at Skyhold, Josephine suspects that Coryphaeus will try to kill Celeste during the peace.
Wait, I thought Coryphaeus was Erimond. Are they? Oh, they're different people.
Peace talks with Grand Duke Gaspard at Halam Shirel. Unable to send a warning, the Inquisitor travels to the Winter Palace.
I guess he's not the main threat.
Where they investigate Briella, former spymaster of Celeste, and Morrigan, the Empress's current occult advisor.
Morrigan? She's from the first game. The guy that was on the party with the original dude. The original dude was with Morrigan in the first game. Morrigan was gonna do that entire ritual to let the main guy sacrifice himself to kill the dragon. And she ended up leaving because he decided he didn't want to do it. Like, she's the one that had that entire have sex with her and then implant the baby with a demon spirit ritual shit. Dude, they really, like, this is an Avengers Endgame level solution to this massive problem.
Advisor. Upon further search, they discover that it is Floriane, the Duke's sister, who is serving Coryphaeus, and the Duke himself is planning a coup d'etat. The Inquisitor exposes Floriane, and depending on the player's actions, Celeste can survive and keep her throne, or Gaspard is crowned the new emperor.
Alright.
In any case, the Orlesian civil war is ended. The Sovereign pledges to support the Inquisition and sends Morrigan to Skyhold as a liaison. With his plans foiled, Coryphaeus goes to the Arbor
Take that, Coryphaeus. Bet we never hear from him again after that humiliation.
Wilds, searching for an alluvium as a way to reach the crossroads and tear down the barriers that separate it from the Fade. Inquisition forces pursue him, and amidst the battle, Morrigan and the Inquisitor find him in a Temple of Mythal, where they learn he is after the Well of Sorrows. The temple's defense
Classic random fantasy MacGuffin bullshit.
Seemingly destroy him, but he transfers his essence to one of his generals.
Oh, he just transfers his essence to one of his generals. Cool. I do love me villains that could transfer their essences. God damn it! That's the most hacked shit ever.
And proceeds deeper. The party follows suit and manages to defeat the general. Then the player can choose to have either Morrigan or the Inquisitor drink from the well, thus gaining the knowledge on how to defeat Coryphaeus, but binding themselves to Mithal's will. With the well and—
Wait, so you have to, either you or Morrigan are bound to the will of this temple shit, and that's the only way you can fucking kill this guy? Because this dude has Orochimaru hacks and can keep fucking transferring his body into other fucking people?
And the Alluvian lost, Phaeus flies away on his dragon. The Inquisitor and Morrigan discover that Flemeth is a vestigial aspect of Mithal, and therefore whoever drank from the well is bound to her will.
No!
Flemeth reveals that—
Flemeth is the one that turns into a dragon and shit. The Fade is 4 things: the Dream Realm, the home of demons and spirits, the birthplace of the Darkspawn, and the House of God. Damn, I love that people in my chat are just like fucking lore enthusiasts. They know this shit.
His red lyrium dragon is similar to an archdemon and ties Coryphaeus to life. Only
Mithal is Morrigan's mom, who wanted to body hop into Morrigan. Damn, I guess the only way to deal with a bullshit villain is to have a bullshit power-up.
when slain will Coryphaeus become mortal. She also grants a new power to the one that drank from the well. Morrigan is able to shapeshift into a dragon, while the Inquisitor is able to summon one.
Badass.
In a last-ditch effort,
The bullshit power-up we needed, ladies and gentlemen. Because the thing is, this Coryphaeus dude, this villain, he has a dragon. But you're gonna have to deal with that at some point.
Coryphaeus returns to the Temple of Sacred Ashes, and using the Orb of Destruction, reopens the breach. As soon as the Inquisitor's party arrives, he lifts the ruins in the air, cutting them off from reinforcements, and sends his dragon against them. The Inquisition uses their own dragon,
Right? Whether it's Morrigan that transforms into a dragon, or it's the dragon that the main dude could summon.
and the two beasts clash, with the red lyrium dragon prevailing, but as it is severely injured, it is finished off by the Inquisitor. Using the anchor, the Inquisitor seals the breach, and opens a rift inside the now mortal Coryphaeus' body.
Bro opens a portal to another dimension in the body of the villain. That is the most gangster shit I've ever seen. Oh my glob. Yo! Oh my god! Damn.
Destroying his physical form, and banishing his essence to the
Shadow Realm.
Fade. In the aftermath of the battle, Solus finds the orb damaged beyond repair, and, disappointed he couldn't save it, leaves the Inquisition. Sometime later, we see him meeting Flemeth, who reveals to the audience his true identity, the Dread Wolf. She also chastises him for giving his orb away to Coryphaeus, with Solus explaining he was too weak to use it. 2 years later, Divine Victoria calls for an exalted council to decide the fate of the Inquisition. There, the body of a dead Canary found by Liliana sets the Inquisitor on a quest where they discover a Canary plot to assassinate most of the southern leaders.
I mean, this definitely feels like a whole ass sequel. Like, this doesn't even feel like the same story anymore. Like, the main threat was quelled, and now you have like back to humans and their bullshit now that there's not an existential threat.
In preparation for a Canary takeover, upon confronting their leader, Vidasala, the Inquisitor discovers that Solus had been meddling with her plans, and together they chase her, with the elf turning Vidasala to stone.
Oh, this is a DLC. Thank you, chat, for explaining. Yeah, that definitely looks exactly like that's exactly what I was saying. Like, we have dealt with the main issue here. We're definitely in a DLC at this point. Like, this is a total tangential shit going on after you already dealt with the main bad guy.
Solus then reveals his true identity to the Inquisitor as well, and his plan to restore the old elven world by destroying the Veil. Before leaving, he severs the Inquisitor's left arm,
What? What a bitch!
as over the years, the anchor had become unstable and threatened to kill them.
It's unstable. Bye-bye, hand.
When the Inquisitor returns to the
Have fun jerking off without your magic portal hand. You used to really like jerking off with that portal hand, didn't you?
council, they announce that the Inquisition
This feels like a whole Rick and Morty DLC.
will serve as Divine Victoria's guard, whether legally or not, and will continue fighting to stop the Dread Wolf and his plans.
Damn.
This has been the story of the Dragon Age games so far.
That was a banger.
Due to
Banger
time
video.
restraints, we did not go into very much detail or cover side quests that were irrelevant to the main plot. But we hope that this summary of the main storyline is enough to
Yeah, it's a banger. Wizards, I love Wizards and Warriors documentary lore videos so much. They're so good. Definitely check them out. They deserve it. But yeah, so this has been the deep dive into all the Dragon Age games. I am going to do Donkey's video on the new Dragon Age because he covers like the basic story, I believe, from the new game. So I just
Don't worry,
I
you
just
guys.
want to see if the fall off is as real as everyone is saying it is. All right, I just want to see if the fall off is as true and real. All right, so this is Video Game Donkeys dive into the new Dragon Age game. Okay, we have dealt with some honestly inspiring level plot so far that I liked a lot. So this was a lore dive that I'm happy we did. Let's see if they fucking butchered it.
Don't worry, you guys. I'm still working on my Black Ops 6 video. Still trying to get the game to launch. Haven't had any success yet. Today we're going to switch it up though, play some Dragon Age. This is a big year for Dragon type games. Dragon Ball came out, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth. Now Dragon Age is out.
Dragon Age, Dragon
Quest,
Ball.
I think is coming out pretty soon. Dragon fans are really getting their money's worth this year. I'm almost done compiling these shaders and we're going to start playing as a little dragon, like a little Spyro.
Oh, EA jump scare.
Uh-oh.
Alright. BioWare.
Those are the only employees left at BioWare
I killed them.
after Anthem. Well, the game launches. You gotta give them that. Oh shit, don't show that Starfield.
Oh.
Got this. He's gonna go crazy over this game. Whoa.
Right.
Beat down the entire room to get the information. Hell.
Holy shit. Yo, this actually looks pretty good.
Oh, yeah, here we go. Here, look at this.
Damn.
Oh,
Yeah, kick their asses.
Oh, no. Beat that guy. Yeah, there you go. Boom. Oh, yeah, he's dead. Oh, he's dead.
Not enough gold in the world for this.
Oh, that guy.
Right, this is much more vigilante-ish.
There was probably an easier way to do that than fighting an entire bar.
Yeah, but it wasn't as cool.
No, that was the best and coolest option.
Yeah.
This is funny jumping.
Ah!
We should head back. Solus is probably inside.
No, we should
Hey, Solus from the other game.
go this way. There's probably 10 gold over here somewhere.
Solus has been around longer than Manrathus itself.
All right, so listen, I've already seen the cringe dialogue, chat. You don't have to remind me. I've seen the cringe dialogue. I've seen the 10-minute apology video for misgendering somebody, okay? I'm not getting into that now. I just want to see, like, what the basic gameplay is, because the last 3 games have been fucking phenomenal, balls to the walls action. Like, nuts to butts insanity.
No way, Manrathus has been here forever. Woo! Oh, close one. I thought I was playing the indie game for a second here. The Tree of Galantis. I thought this was destroyed in the Elven Wars.
And I thought the demons were bad back in Mirathus.
Oh, got him.
Was that funny?
I'm a mage.
I'm a Night Elf Mohawk.
Yeah.
Oh no!
They killed the dude.
He's from the old Dragon Quest.
Well, they kill off all the old characters. No.
Oh, never mind. He's still alive, even though he got stabbed
Never mind. He's back.
in the throat.
He was just stabbed in the throat. He's okay. That was Varric.
Okay, but I saw Solus stab you.
Yeah, but he's the main. But like, whatever.
Fell.
Trust me, kid.
Dude, so many important characters died in previous games, and they couldn't even kill this guy off after stabbing him in the neck.
I've had worse.
This is where people come when they dream, but dwarves don't dream.
Wow, what an insane lore drop. The lore drop of dreamless dwarves. We needed that.
And somehow, we're here.
Yeah, it's unreal. Nev thought we should talk.
This is like the least important fucking plot development ever.
We should.
You know me?
Do I?
She's a mage.
I'm a mage.
You have plants.
So, we stopped the ritual.
Okay.
And Varric paid the price.
Wait, he didn't pay that. He literally survived. What the fuck? Bro got stabbed in the neck and he literally survived. He did not pay what price?
Except it didn't count.
We found
Yeah.
Solus and stopped his ritual.
How many times are
Bro, we heard this already.
we gonna recap the storyline?
While I was out cold, he showed up in my dream and
Yeah, that just happened. I remember.
Except that dwarves don't dream.
Oh my fucking god, this is so sad. Dude, did you see the level of complexity in the previous games? The level of insane complexity of the plots and geopolitics of the previous games? The massive world level threats?
Remember?
Yeah, I remember you said that 17 seconds ago.
Elganon and Gillinane.
The guys from Warhammer?
Elganon and Gillinane.
No! Don't you dare insult the fucking gods of Warhammer.
They've escaped.
The elven gods, Elganon and Gillinane, have escaped.
By the way, did you know that the elven gods have escaped? Also, I need to tell you something. The elven gods have escaped.
Oh, this is so sad, the elven gods. No, why the elven gods have escaped? This is so not, this doesn't feel like Dragon Age anymore. Dragon Age is about human struggles. Well, not necessarily human, but like very person type struggles between humans and humans, elves and humans, Templars and mages, like very human themes. Or massive world defining bullshit. How is this a sequel to the previous game? Remember how I established the entire massive theme of the last 3 games? Like how the first game was the massive Blight War, and then the next one was the interpersonal human civil war geopolitics shit, and the third one is humans actually needing to get along again because the Blight shit is so much more dangerous. Then you have this. The elven gods are escaping. God damn.
By the way,
Elven gods escape from their
How many times are they gonna say that?
prison. Solus is in your head, and we're scrambling to figure out what to do.
Once you're in, you can't get out, but
The Elven gods are war criminals. They make war criminals look like petty criminals. Solus sealed them away for good reason. His guilt kind of led to him freeing them without a plan of how to deal with them. Chat, if that is true, I am calling bullshit on that. There is no way.
think I can find a way out.
kick him. I like the kicking. The kicking is fun. Now this guy's from Doom. We gotta kill this guy.
He lost a little weight, haven't you, Sam?
Boom! Oh, they're all out of there. Darkspawn. That was pretty cool. Perform takedowns like God of War.
Wait, so if there's Darkspawn, then that means there's a rift, and that means that a blight is happening, right? Like, this should be like a very big deal.
Down.
Bunch of artifacts.
Artifacts, ancient artifacts. She was.
What is that? Did they invent an accent?
Of looking for another artifact, and the artifact. These are.
Dude, why does the voice acting sound so shit?
Please don't talk about the artifacts anymore. Please.
So what is this artifact we're looking for?
I have a couple of theories, but nothing definite.
They had me in that opening with that bar fight. That was awesome.
Wait, they don't do another one like that? They start off with an epic bar fight, and then it's just you running around talking about how dwarves don't dream the elven gods escaped and you have to gather artifacts? Like, where's the geopolitics?
Remember that?
What kind of artifact shows up in an armory?
I have a theory, but we're miles away from where that artifact should be.
If I want to hear about artifacts, I'll play the game Artifact, which got shut down because nobody wants to hear about that shit.
It's all right. Talking has helped.
Well, wasn't expecting to fight an ogre today. I also didn't expect to learn that my gods are rampaging around and trying to end the world. Just one of those
Was that supposed to be comedy? I don't.
days.
One of those days! Oh, the apocalypse!
Was that funny?
What does that crystal do?
It's an artifact.
The artifact powered. It's kind of my thing, fixing magical stuff.
That's what her character is.
Strife and
Oh, she's the magic stuff fixer. Bro, what the fuck?
want to know about this. And the blight, and the dark
Wait, what did Donkey say?
Character is.
kind of my thing, fixing magical stuff.
That's what her character.
Did Donkey just call this character a her? Did video game Donkey just refer to this character as a her? Oh, buddy. Oh man, I'm so, that's rough. Oh, no one told Donkey. No one told Donkey that,
Pounding that snake's nose. She's still holding the ruby in her other hand. Maker's panties. I was so proud.
Oh,
Ah, shit. They're still holding it. Sorry.
What are you doing?
Pulling above.
10 push-ups, self-flagellation, and 10 minutes of ukulele apologies for accidentally... Yeah, all right. Donkey, if you don't start your next video with 10 push-ups, I'm canceling you.
Character is.
Strife and Ireland want to know about this. And the blight, and the darkspawn.
Another blight's happening, and everyone's like super chill about it, even though the last time a blight thing happened, it was pretty fucking awful.
And the Gully Man, and the artifact, and we're gonna have to keep recapping the storyline 50 more times.
You're back, and you're alive. Good.
You're alive. Good.
It's good that you're alive. It would be bad if you died.
Yeah.
Get up there. Oh no. Dwarves can't swim, that's right.
Oh, dwarves, they can't dream, they can't swim. Poor dwarves.
Dwarves can't be possessed.
Dwarves, they can't be possessed, they can't swim, they can't dream.
Dwarves have never used
No.
magic. We can't.
Then why the fuck did I pick dwarf? I'm going back to.
Oh my god, dude. I hope that this was just like a cringe compilation and that the new Dragon game isn't actually as bad as everyone's been saying it is. But anyway, thank you all so much for being here. If you want a Yap Fest, definitely play the new Dragon Age game, because that's kind of what it looks like. It's a Yap Fest where they mix in sermons every once in a while to make sure you are on the right side of history. But this was a good lore dive, all in all. I'm glad we did it. I have respect for the Dragon Age lore, except for dwarves, because they can't dream, and they can't swim, and never toss a dwarf, and they also aren't connected to the Fade, and dwarves, they can't really do much of anything, to be honest. Like, they're short, and they have literally all L's. They're all L's. Classic Hollywood, am I right? Anyway, thanks so much for being here. This has been a new deep dive, and I needed to do it purely and utterly so that I could properly shit on modern Dragon Age. I am not like those other guys that just shit on Dragon Age without doing my research. No. I have to understand exactly how great the lore of this game actually is to properly shit on it. So, Stay weird, fam. Like, subscribe, and this video was streamed live on kick.com/Nuxanor. See you there. Stay weird, fam.